What's good, y'all? So in this video, we are just going to be simply venting from my lower self's perspective. All right. So I don't really know what direction of this video is going to take. I don't know if I'm going to ruffle any feathers. I'm in my lower self. I'm just going to say what I got to say. All right. With that being said, let's just get into it. You know, for the last month and a half, I've been really working very diligently on my lower self. Right. And one of the things I've really noticed about my lower self is my lower self really detests rules. I don't like rules in general, as y'all could tell already. But when I'm really like living from my lower self, I one of the biggest things that I hate is limitations. And the funny thing is, yes, there's limitations everywhere in the world. Like our 9 to 5s is a limitation of what we can do in our free time because we have these job things that we have to do. Even if you're an entrepreneur, you're still part of the same race. You're just in a different lane. That's just how I see it. Sure, like some of y'all don't work at all and you're living a peaceful, loving life and your passive income is enough for you to live your life. That's how I think it should be, in all honesty. And I'm working towards that every single day. But whether you're an entrepreneur, you're working a 9 to 5, whatever, all of your time is being wasted trying to get this thing called money, right? And it's like, oh, like you got all these spiritual people that say money is fake, money is the root of all evil, money is this. But hey, but I'm doing consultations for this thing called money. So wait, hold on. So you call this thing that you love doing so much, and then you say this money thing is so bad, but even you are using your higher God-given, Yahshua-given, universal-given, whatever, gifts to make this evil thing. So you're using your gifts to save the world to make a buck. Now I get it. We have bills. We have to survive in this world the way that it is right now. And the current world that we're living in is currently crumbling right now. I get it. But isn't this not the case? That's just the way I see it. It's like I always see a little bit of contradiction that people don't want to acknowledge. But then I've noticed there were certain people where you charge certain things. It's like one of the biggest things, I talked about this before, is like the people that do charge for their services. Once again, I'm not knocking the hustle. You do what you gotta do. I'm just pontificating. I'm just talking out loud, thinking out loud here. When I see people kind of taking advantage of the spiritual conscious community with their prices, $369.69 for such and such, $2,222 for some simple little service. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, so you're using synchronicity, you're using powerful numbers to get people to be interested in this and that. You see what I'm saying? That's just all I see. Because I'm sorry, as being a fiscally responsible individual, I cannot justify spending that much money for that. And then one of the biggest things that I really hear where really throws me off certain people from time to time throughout my journey as a whole is when they say that they're the only ones that can do something, or when people hype themselves up a little too much and say, I am the most high, I am the most powerful on this planet. Wait, hold up, my guy. And it's like, if y'all know who I'm talking about, and it is what it is, I learned a lot from everybody. But you're the most powerful on this planet. You are the most high on this planet. You can do lightning kinesis. I don't know the proper word, but the lightning kinesis, that's one of the things I remember, about this individual that I watched way back when. But yet, in your videos, you still got a hairnet and a high visibility vest. So you're going to work, but you're the most high, and you can do lightning kinetics and stuff, but you're still punching a time clock. But then if anyone were to call you out on that, oh, we're just lower vibrational, you're not a higher vibrational enough to understand what it is that I do, and blah blah blah. You see what I'm saying? That type of stuff really pisses me off. Now, yes, you can tell a low vibrational person from a high vibrational person, but just because someone has spits out spiritual content does not mean that they are perfect. Does not mean that they have everything figured out. But one of the other things that the other part of that, the last part of that list is, that doesn't mean that there's not another route. You see somebody doing something amazing and they did it this way. Okay, cool. They found it this way. Just like how you can find wealth by legitimate means, by working very hard and saving your money, you can go sell drugs and sell weapons. You can make your money at the end goal. Y'all ended off at the same point. Y'all still, both of y'all, whether you worked hard or you sold drugs, it's like you ended up at the same resort. You still ended up at the same 5-star resort, But y'all went completely different routes, and that's another reason why I'm not scared to enter my lower self like some people are. I'm not scared to enter my higher self. But I live under the principle, and I've said it 1,000 times at this point. Don't be so high and mighty that you're no earthly good. Don't be so spiritual and peace-loving and namaste and ashes that you're ignoring all the things around you. There's going to be a time where you might have to lift your fist. There'll be a time that you have to work your magic to inflict harm on the enemy. That's just where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, the way that I'm moving, it's like I'm not even going to see it. It's like my weapon, I use my energy, I use my magic to just put me in the right place at the right time. Right? What's wrong with that? But so many spiritual people that say how powerful they are, how this, how that, how this, how that, but they also fail to acknowledge the dark side of themselves, the what you call it? It's like the dark nights of the soul. Y'all see how open I am about my journey? It's like, I'm just like, yo, I had a rough night. Yo, I almost cracked open the bottle of alcohol when I was really going through it, when I was really stressing out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but people try to like put on this persona that they're so perfect, that they're so happy all the fucking time. And I find that to be weird. Like, you do realize that anger is an emotion. You do realize that envy is an emotion. You do realize that that little bit of jealousy is an emotion. And you can't say that you exercise a full range of emotions, but ignore the sadness. Ignore the anger. Ignore the rage. Rage is beautiful from time to time. See, I'm getting riled up right now. That fury is a beautiful feeling. But some of you are so peace and loving and namaste that you will never touch that. And those are weapons that you are just not utilizing. But who am I to get in your way? Which is another question I've been asking myself. When I'm in my lower self, one of the biggest things that I know, and I'll repeat this in another video I have in my mind, but one of the things I've been noticing about myself when I know I'm about to enter my lower self is no matter how disciplined I was, no matter how much I've been fasting, no matter how much I've been eating foods with a life force energy, no matter how much I've been doing these types of things, I have a severe craving for junk food that I try to fight until I realize in my own psyche, in my own journey, that this is my doorbell. This is my alarm that's saying, hey, you're about to go into your lower self. Get ready. Because life is nothing but ebbs and flows in the microcosm and in the macrocosm. It's just an ebb and flow. You go up and down, up and down. We're always talking about high vibrational frequencies, but even high vibrational frequencies have wavelengths. They have troughs and they have peaks. You go up and down, up and down. The difference is when I say I'm entering my lower self is still technically high vibrational. It's just the lower expression of myself. It's the part of me that's like very much a contrarian. It's the part of me that challenges everything, not only questions everything, but challenges everything as well. And that's the part of me that's really realized that I hate. I use that word on purpose. I hate being limited. I hate being confined. I hate rules. When I really sit back and I look at the spiritual community, when I look at the conscious community, and I really look at what it is that we're doing, I really question things. I'm like, wait, why is that? Because we do speak very confidently when we're presenting information. Now, of course, I'll enter right back into this world and say, hey, this is the way that I do things. I'm saying this is how I do it. And if you're going to eat like that, okay, live your truth. But don't be surprised when you're having health ailments. Don't be surprised when you're having acid reflux. Don't be surprised when you're having toothaches and stuff, because the way I see it is my route. The way that I understand it is there's multiple routes for information. There's multiple infinite ways for you to learn life lessons. If you have to learn lessons by doing certain things, and it is what it is. Like it be the spiritual conscious community though that doesn't realize that you're setting up more and more rules for yourself. You must eat like this if you want to achieve the higher dimensions. What are you talking about? Neville Goddard's teacher, Abdullah, was like, there are stories of him drinking full bottles of rye, or like rye, and eating like all this types of food and stuff. And he was a black, quote, so-called black Ethiopian Jew. And he was just eating what he wanted to, because he said, if you ate what I ate, you would get sick. You would die if you ate and drank what I ate. Because he lived in a whole completely different parameters, a different set of rules than you and me. But who are you? Who am I to walk up to this master, quite literally a master, and tell him that he's doing it wrong? But we're really big at doing that in the spiritual conscious community. We really do. Oh, he doesn't know how to charge his crystals. Oh, he bought some crystals and he didn't wash them. Oh, he doesn't know about moon magic. Oh, he doesn't know about sun magic. Oh, he doesn't know about this. Oh. Look at you passing all this judgment on someone, but you're so conscious, right? But you're so spiritual, right? Or could you just attest that yes, you did pass judgment in this moment, but because I do it all the time. I say what I say, I feel how I feel, but I'm saying, hey, I remind myself, hey, that's just their part of their journey. I saw that you had 98 cents. I'm just here to offer you a couple more. I'm just here to give you my 2 cents. That's it. You do what you do with your life. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I notice how many rules there are. You must eat this. You must wake up at this time. You must do... Man, who the fuck are you? Seriously, who are you? It's like, and like, we are really big in the same way. It's like, we're just like, how in the political stance, just imagine there are rings. This is the left, this finger's the left, this finger's the right. But if you were like a wristband, there's only that little degree of separation. You have completely opposing views, but you're willing to do the exact same measures, extremists on both sides, to get your desired outcome. So just like how we say that there's the dark that's inflicting and like enslaving the minds of the planet, the light side can be, I don't know, in my opinion, be doing the exact same thing. You have to do it like this. Aren't we here for freedom? Aren't we here for people to be able to think and walk their own journeys, not being forced into a template of life? But no, you must eat like this. You must eat clean. You must do this. You must do that. This is why I said in one of my previous videos that may have rubbed some people the wrong way, is that I condone the light and the darkness. If a demon were to materialize in front of me right now asking for guidance, I would give it to them. Oh my God, who's this guy? Oh, he's really in his dark. He's being taken over. No, I'm all about balance, because I like to see a good fight. Who likes to go to a sports game and watch a blowout? That's no fun. That's no fun. You know what I mean? It's that because, and maybe it is a little bit selfish of me, to make the demon stronger. I lived with one. In my psyche, there was a demon. There was a lower vibrational entity living in my vessel with me. This is why, you see, some of y'all wouldn't understand that. So you'd be like, how could you say something like that? Because this was my truth for years. And he actually benefited me. Some of y'all still have limited understandings of the angels and demons. Some of you still think that all the angels will just help you out. Some of you think that all the demons are just here to take you down. You see what I'm saying? It's like, no, I have an understanding that some of these angels will put obstacles in your way just to teach you a lesson. And some of them will put an extreme obstacle in your way that might just knock you off of this life path. And some of these demons might scare the crap out of you. You might try to do your best to get rid of them, but you realize that they ain't going nowhere. So you'd be like, okay, why are you here? I'm here because you've been operating from a lower vibrational, and now I've seen you. So now I'm just going to pick on you until you're not here no more. It's kind of like a big brother poking you in your head until you eventually stand up to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you finally toughened up. Good job. You have no need for me anymore. But with demons, you kind of have to exercise, and you kind of have to push them away from you and expel them from you. But nevertheless, there's rules, there's levels to this. And I'm not saying I'm the highest and know everything. I'm just calling things as I see it. You have to charge your crystals like this. You have to eat this. You have to drink this. Why? Then there's people that may be very high vibrational, but it's like, wait, but you're so high vibrational, I question people that I'll still sit at their feet, but I'll still question them, and I'll still disagree with some of my teachers at this very moment. Wait a minute, you're operating from the 12th, 13th, 8 billionth dimension. You're operating from a state of love, pure bliss, and all this type of stuff, but yet you're showing anger right here. Or you're 12th dimensional, whatever the fuck that even means, but yet you're still charging people for stuff, or you're still charging people for services, and you're the only one that did this. I find it very strange when some of us are the only ones that seem to have this type of information. Oh, I'm the only one that has this type of information. I'm the only one that can provide this service. I'm the only person that you should be buying these types of things from. That's when I run away from you. That makes no sense to me. How are you the only person that can do something? I'm infinite, and you're teaching that everyone's infinite, so if we're all infinite, how are you the only person that can do something? I'm just asking questions for a friend. You see what I'm saying? You know, like one of my unpopular opinions, and I just vocalize myself because y'all know I don't have no filter when I get into this mode. But like, I see a lot of weakness in the spiritual community from time to time, man. I really do. I see weakness. You know, because y'all ain't willing to do what you gotta do. Y'all, a lot of y'all will, like, you know, post the content. A lot of you will repost, and that's good. That does help. You know, but what else are you gonna do? Are you gonna put yourself out there? Or are you just gonna keep like regurgitating what other people said? You know, for example, right? Well, not for example. My brain's all over the place. But like, you know, like for one thing, right? I had to cut off like a so-called friend. Because one of the things that it irritated with me, and once again, different levels of your different positions in your spiritual journey, I get it. But this individual can never, not once, ever give me their own opinion on something. They couldn't tell me their own theory, what they've been thinking about. It's always, oh, well, so-and-so's theory, or so-and-so said, or so-and-so said. And there's a lot of you that still do that. You're still blind. You're still babies. I mean, I'm a baby in the spiritual game too, but at least I'm a baby that can sit up on my own. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of y'all are still babies waiting for mommy and daddy to come hold your hand so you can walk 2 feet to the left or 2 feet to the right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all are always saying these high vibrational things that sound good, but I always see a lot of y'all talking the talk. I am not afraid of the darkness because I am cloaked in light. Then why are you scared to go into your darker self? If you're cloaked in light and you're always protected, your ancestors are here, but you're still doing stupid shit out here. Why are you so scared to go into the darkness? You know, y'all, you're cloaked in light. I'm always being led by my ancestors and cosmic deities. I work with Oshun, Ogun, blah, 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 bing, bada, bing, bada, boom. I'm always working with them. They are always divinely leading me. And yet, you're too scared to go into the dark by yourself. I jump head first into the darkness because what's up? What you gonna do to me? I'm infinite. If my physical vessel dies, so be it. I'll do what I gotta do to learn this lesson. And if that means residing in my dark self, so be it. If it involves me going in my light self, so be it. If I feel the call, if I feel the pull within my own psyche, that's what I do. And some of y'all may be doing that. I'm just vocalizing things that I notice from time to time along my journey. If you're taking personal offense to what I'm saying, I don't even know who you are. I'm just a dude on the internet that's just talking some shit. And you're taking offense to something where I'm just saying what I saw in my journey, and look at you trying to interject yourself into what I've experienced and my conclusions that I came to. Who are you to tell me what makes me happy? Who are you to interpret my lessons? The number of lessons in this world are infinite, and the number of ways that they can introduce themselves into all of our lives is infinite. You want to learn about health? Sometimes you got to be sick. You gotta learn about health. Sometimes you have to watch someone in your family be sick. You see what I'm saying? Who's to say which way is right? Because neither one of them are. Neither one of them's right. Neither one of them is wrong. They just are. Things just are. It just is. That tree is a happy tree. That tree is a healthy tree. No, we in our little understanding of life itself attribute these adjectives and these descriptions to these things. That tree is a tree. Some people see these trees as tree gods, tree elders, earth elders. Some people see that as just a tree. Oh, see, your vibration isn't high enough to understand that that tree is alive and actually communicating with you. No, your truth is your truth. That person's truth is that person's truth, both of which are true. But look at you getting this little bit of an ego. Abandon the ego. Kill the ego. Scrap the ego. But your ego is very loud to me right now because you're talking to the new person to the spiritual game about how they're... See, but that's the thing. That's why I say I've never gotten rid of my ego. I just make it work for me. You see what I'm saying? It's like I live in 100% authenticity. I live in 100% truth, whatever my truth is. But do I ever profess to be perfect? No, I am a perfect imperfection. I'm perfect in the fact that I am imperfect. You know what I'm saying? I walk around and yes, I'm perfect because I love myself. My life is perfect because it's a never-ending series of synchronistic events. It's a never-ending series of lessons that I can learn. Anytime I want something in this life, it comes to me. But sometimes it's like I can't see it from too high up. Hey, your lesson is down here. Let's just say you're up there living in the penthouse, but your delivery is down at the first floor, and they don't have access to the building. You have to get on the elevator and go down to the first floor to pick up your package. And then when you're ready, you get back in the elevator and you go back up. Well, right now I'm picking up the messages. I'm picking up the mail that's in the mail room on the first floor. That's all I'm doing right now. You know, like I say, I'm just talking right now. I'm just talking right now. You know, one of the things that I saw too, gaming has taught me a lesson. But how many spiritual people say gaming is a poison? Gaming is just rotting your brain. That blue light is calcifying your pineal gland. Excuse me? I game a lot when I'm at home. I game a lot when I'm doing this because I'm always learning from everything. Everything is a lesson from me. I don't live in your paradigm. So if you found out that I put hours and hours and hours into gaming, and you be like, oh, look at him. He can't be spiritual because he's always getting zapped by that blue light and he's always wasting his time. What do you mean? I play games and I learn valuable lessons. I learn lessons in strategy. I learn lessons in thinking of different, overcoming different obstacles on the fly. I learn about adaptability. I learn about, rising so high that people now become jealous of you. Everyone that's walking their spiritual path has experienced this. You began your spiritual path, you became alone. Your family started looking at you differently. Your friends started looking at you differently. You decided to cut certain people off. The same people, the same interests that you once had that you swear that you were going to die loving, die believing, no longer are in your life. Why? Because you're living from a different perspective. It's lonely up here at the top. For example, one of my favorite games, Last Mage Standing, is just a browser game / a mobile game. As I always talk about, I play that game damn near religiously. My favorite character is Thompson and Boris. Come holler at me. It's like, whenever I do play the game, whenever I'm at home, but right now I'm traveling a lot for work, so it is what it is. I don't get to play it as much, but when I get back home, I'll be right back on it. And say, I want y'all to get better at it while I'm not here so y'all can give me a good fight because I trust y'all. I trust y'all to provide me with competition. But anyway, when I'm beginning the game, because it's a battle royale, like a little 8-bit battle royale, completely free, 100% free, right? When I started the game, I was getting my ass beat. There was the point where I was like, yo, was that legit? Yo, was that guy hacking? Was that blah, blah, blah? But those doubts quickly faded as I rose. What I've noticed about young people is y'all don't know how to lose no more. Y'all don't know how to get your ass beat until you know how to beat the game. That's why some of y'all rage so much. You rage at everything. You get mad at everything. Oh, he's cheating. Oh, he's hacking. You keep making excuses for your shortcomings. You keep making excuses for the fact that you can't win. You don't want to adapt. You don't want to learn. You don't want to learn. You don't want to acknowledge the fact that you're making the same mistake over and over. You want the other person to change their behavior so you can win. What sense does that make? These are lessons that I learned from video games as a so-called 28-year-old male right now living my life. You're 28 years old and you're playing video games? Yes, because they teach me life lessons and it brings me enjoyment. It brings me solace. It gets my mind off of the crazy chatter that's always going on in my mind. You see what I'm saying? And when you rise to the top, whether it's your spiritual journey, whether it's your gaming journey, whether it's in sports, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in whatever it is that you feel the need to rise to the top into the higher echelons, the higher echelons of like whatever it is that field that you're trying to get better at. It's like you're going to realize that there's going to be a certain point where people are joking you. You suck at this game. You suck at this game. Good game, good game, good game. Holy crap, this guy is really good. This guy is really good. Oh, all he does is spam. All he does is this to win. Oh, he thinks he's so good because of blah, blah, blah. You see what happens? The higher you get, the people that fail to advance, they start to look at you and they get jealous of you rising and rising and rising. They get jealous. But guess what? Jealousy is just another source of energy. If you're truly the alchemist that you are, utilize that jealousy to beat their ass even more. Oh yeah, you thought I was gonna go easy on you? It's nothing better. And this is me shit talking. There's nothing better than someone shit talking you, calling you a scrub, saying you ain't good, and you actually stoop down to their level and you play their game. They, like, for example, I play the game and a lot of people get mad at me because they say, oh, all you do is use abilities. All you do is this. You can't actually win. You have no skill. Once again, I know I'm dealing with children. That's why I just simply just keep smacking them beside the head and keep getting my dubs. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, so you mean to tell me this game gives you 3 abilities that you can utilize to get to the end line, to the end goal, to win. And you're telling me that you're trying to win with your hands tied behind your back, and you think that there's some type of honor here? No, the only honor is you being the last man standing. In this game, no pun intended, the last mage standing. There's another reason I play it. It's last mage. Magician. Magic. My favorite character is Thompson. He's a black dude that reminds me of my dad, and I pair him up with crystals. I'm literally walking around with a digital version of me. And you want me to change how I act because you can't adapt, because you fail to grow. I beg to differ. I'll be up here at the top. Let me know when you want to hang up here with the big boys. Now, I know that there's some people that can still clap me. That's fine. That's cool. And when they come around, I accept the challenge. I get happy. I feel chills down my back because I'm like, ooh, this is a chance for me to test my skills. Let me see if I can beat this person. You know, there's a couple of the top people that I went up against and I clapped them like 6 times straight. But because that we are going back and forth like Goku and Vegeta out here, this person got a read on my behavior and he started to beat me. So I was like, oh man, I gotta change this up. I gotta start thinking outside the box. I gotta start doing something a little bit differently. Okay. And it got to the point where I could not beat him anymore. It was just like, yo, good GG's, bro. Like, yo, you really put up a good fight. GG's. I'm getting respect from the higher level nerds out there. I don't care if you're 13 years old. I don't care if you're a 47-year-old neckbeard. GG, because this is a battle of the minds. Screw the age, screw the race, screw the ethnicity. This is a battle of the minds up here. We're playing chess up here while everyone else is playing checkers. You see what I'm saying? And people get mad at us because they can't keep up with us on a level, so they call us hackers because we have quote aimbot because we didn't miss a shot in that entire game. No, because your movements are predictable. We are moving at a higher level than you. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, all that to say that a video game was something that was very beneficial in my world, and you might find it complete nonsense. Oh man, that is one of my favorite words, nonsense. Because I find it funny because when someone says, oh, that position is nonsense, that means that that person that said that has a stance that they are willing to die on. They have a stance that no matter what information is presented no matter what information is presented to them, they will always be on their standpoint. So it's like, what's the point of you debating me? What's the point of us talking if there's no way that you can learn anything? You will take nothing from me. You just want to prove how you're right. And even if you're provided with information that proves the opposite, you still are going to believe what you believe. How many times have you talked about the biggest taboos, religion and politics, to someone that doesn't know as much as they think they know about their political stance? That's why I question black people that are Democrats. I'm like, you do realize the Democrats were the ones that wanted slavery back in the day, right? You do realize that your vice president is a black woman, yay, but you do realize she made her career off of incarcerating black people, right? Okay, you do realize that your current president can't remember how to wipe his own ass. He's shaking hands with the air, right? But we don't like Trump. Okay, cool. Defend your stance as being a Democrat without saying Trump's name. Most of the time they can't do, oh, well, I don't really speak about politics too much. Okay, well, switch to religion. And we're not going to go there, but you catch my drift, right? You know, religion, you say this and this and blah, 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 blah. Well, God saves all. Jesus is all. Jesus saves. Jesus is king. Jesus is Lord. Please tell me the verse in the Bible where Jesus professed himself to be God. I will wait. You see what I'm saying? That's all we're going to talk about in that one. Once again, I do respect everybody's decisions, but I just question everything. And if we get to the point that we can no longer coexist in the same environment, then hey, it is who it is. Thank you for your conversation. Where I'm going to go my way, you go yours, and that's the end of that. I think I'm done for now. I could go on forever and ever and ever, but I just want one last little thing. This might start me back up again, but I just want to remind y'all that there's nothing wrong with your dark side. There's nothing wrong with going into your lower self. Your lower self does not mean that you're going back down to doing drugs and going back to brothels and, like, you know, going back to your addictions. No, like I said, you could be a higher vibrational, but even at the higher vibrations, there's the ebbs and flows. There's the troughs and crests and the wavelengths. All you're doing is just seeing the lower expression of your high vibration. To the next one, y'all. Peace.